A lot of people know me as Jake Long, the American Dragon. Dragging it up. A lot of people know me as Ben Mercado in the Asian American classic, The Debut.
Hi everyone, my name is Maureen Mariano and I'm the editor-in-chief of Sparks magazine. And I'm joined by the one and only Dante Basco. Dante, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So can I just tell you that I love The Debut? It was one of my favorite, it still is one of my favorite movies ever.
As it should be. I mean, being Filipino and just being a cult classic for Asian American, but definitely a staple for every real Filipino household.
For sure. So for a movie like The Debut, how was the whole experience like working on the first ever Filipino American film?
Amazing. You know, I think we all knew going into it like it was the first film like this. At that time in my career, I'd been an actor over 10 years, but it was the first time I got to play Filipino, and it was like a very important film for myself, and of course my whole family was in the movie, so it was a super special experience. You know, the whole thing was very special. Hard to a certain degree just because you kind of had the weight of the whole community on you, because we were all like, we knew what we were representing, and trying to make a statement for the whole community was kind of tricky, but I think we did a pretty good job.
So how has being Filipino American influenced the roles you've auditioned for and eventually take on?
It's a lot. You know, Hollywood's as a balance of, you know, the right roles coming at the right time and you being right for those roles, and being Filipino, of course, in an industry where there's hardly any, rarely, probably almost no Filipino roles. Yeah. It's just been, you know, I've been super fortunate to be a working actor for like the last 25 years. So it always influences my work, because every time I do a role that's not ethnically specific, to me it's always Filipino. Mm-hmm. So, you know, and then there's other times where I get to play other Asian characters, other Latino characters, and it's great to play all those also, but, you know, all the other roles are like Filipino to me.
So do roles just come at you because you're Asian? Like, for example, for American Dragon, were you chosen just because you were...
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. You know, it's really strange with voiceover, because obviously there's no ethnicity when it comes to voices. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure, who knows? I have no idea how they cast, but it was cool that I was a part of, like, I was Disney's first Asian-inspired animation show. So to be the leader, that was pretty cool.
So what are your thoughts on how Asians are portrayed and represented on screen? And also the lack of representation of Asians? Well,
first and foremost, I think it is great that we're at a time where Asians in America are kind of at the height of the level they've ever been so far in the country, which is great. But at the same token, it's nowhere near where it needs to be, and really has to come from the community. I think a lot of times we want, quote unquote, mainstream Hollywood to like make movies for us or whatnot, but that's just not really the case of how it works. You know, we really, as a community, have to create our own genre, which I think we're in the midst of doing, and a lot of people that I'm working with in Hollywood and through YouTube, we're really trying to figure out a plan of how we're really gonna put out more product for the community and really try to cultivate an Asian American genre. So I think we're at the highest point we've been so far, but at the same token, I feel like this new generation, which is your generation, it's your time, it's our time, and it's time for us to really start doing a lot of work.
So you mentioned briefly that you're doing a few collaborations with YouTube artists.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about that, or is it kind of on the DL?
It's kind of on the DL. I mean, people know that my relationship with Kevin Jumbo, we did a movie, Hang Loose, which is out on iTunes right now. It's doing really well, and it was Kev's first starring role in a movie. And then our company, Kinetic Films, produced another film that Kev and Justin Sean wrote and directed, so that's coming out soon, called Man Up. But then, just with the films that we're doing and the stuff that's going on, there's a lot of talks with JK Films, Wong Fu Productions, Fung Brothers, these kind of cats, as well as other mainstream directors and producers, about really trying to form this idea that it's coming out soon. I can't really talk about it yet because we're still having meetings about it. But when it comes out, you guys will be able to. We'll be one of the first to know.
Okay, great. Thank you. So, as an Asian American, were you faced with any struggles either growing up or breaking into the entertainment industry?
Yes. For anyone breaking into the entertainment industry, being ethnic or not, it's one of the hardest industries to get into.
Sure.
So it's so hard. And then being, again, in an industry where the amount of roles for Asians compared to amount of roles for Caucasians is probably 1%.
Yeah.
It's hard. With that being said, it's hard for everybody to get in the industry.
Yeah.
So it's hard for me to think about it in that way. Later on, you look back at your career, and myself as well as a lot of my friends, everyone has had their ups and downs. But I just had that old, I guess, ethnic, Asian work ethic. It's like me and my brothers, we always studied hard, and we trained for over 20 years and continue to work not only on screen in films and movies, but also continue to work in the theater and produce and write and poetry and music. And you just it's more of a lifestyle thing that you do. And then I've been fortunate and blessed to been able to keep working on the screen at the same time.
So you mentioned your brothers, the Basco brothers.
The Basco brothers.
So how is it like working with them?
They're amazing. I love my brothers and my sister. She always feels like I'm always living out with my sister. So I love them. We studied together in acting schools and classes for, like I said, over 20 years together. So I've seen them do amazing work in theater, and then I've seen them do amazing work on film and television. So proud of them. My brother Darian is coming out in a few films soon. He has a film coming out with Ann Curtis, who's a Filipino star. Yeah. And then he has another film coming out, the Cesar Chavez story, where he plays Larry Itleon, which is the leader of the Filipinos during the whole that movement, the Cesar Chavez movement. And then my little sister's lead singer of a band, and she just released a book called Palms Up, and they're all working. Yeah. Everyone's working, just growing up, and it's just cool to be a part of an artistic family, because it's a hard thing to do. But if you have your siblings all going through it at the same time as you, then it makes it a little easier.
So you were talking about how your whole family's into the arts. Where did the influence come from? Where do you get that?
I have to credit my parents, I guess. My mother in particular, not that she was an artist per se, but we came from a little town called Pittsburgh, California, East Bay in the Bay Area. And it's a blue-collar town, so I think to keep us off the streets and keep us out of the bad elements of what was going on, she just kept us always in dance classes, singing classes, kung fu classes, and that idea of let's just keep my kids in that arts mindset turned into us breakdancing, and then turned into us moving to LA to pursue dancing and acting.
I know you do a bit of poetry as well.
Yeah.
So where do you get your inspiration to create your pieces?
Yeah, the poetry thing is, again, one of those passions of just trying to express myself, and being, again, fortunate to be a part of this whole, in the 90s, being a part of a clique, and I started a venue called DPL, the Poetry Lounge, which is originally Dante's Poetry Lounge, which pretty much started in my living room, which has now become the largest weekly open mic venue in the country.
Oh, wow.
And that was just out of being young artists I was hanging out with, and we just wanted to talk about the world that we saw. And so, again, it's another thing it's just a weird industry. You just keep on trying to express yourself and go with your passions, and doors open up, and you just walk through them. And it's another one of those weird things. And it's actually really what opened up writing for me. So I'm starting to write poetry, and then recently I wrote the first film me and Kev did together, and I have another film that I just finished writing, which is for AJ Raphael's first film. It's called Red Roses the Musical, which Kinetic Films, our next film we're doing. And then I just wrote a play called Midnight Makeout Session that it's in LA being produced, and Bosea, the poet, directing it. So, all these
You're
things.
Busy.
Yeah.
You've been busy. So what has been your favorite TV or movie role you've done so far?
They're all special.
Can't choose.
I can't choose. Rufio's great just because he became an icon for a certain generation, and it's Spielberg and Hoffman and Robin Williams, and it was such a special time in my teenage life. Prince Zuko is an amazing character. I got to do this character, one of the greatest characters I got to play, because the arc is amazing, and that was over 5 years, and really being a part of a brand new phenomenon, brand new franchise. who gets to do that? That's
I know.
crazy. But then the debut is important because for the Filipino community and just
Loved it.
and playing Filipino and really seeing my family and working with my family and then seeing, not my literal family, but seeing like the faces of my uncles and my aunts and my to see that on the screen was beautiful. But then like Take the Lead was important to me because I was a dancer.
Yeah.
And I was like doing my first, it's like going back to my first love and kind of getting to dance on screen was, it just, everything came full circle for me. So that was pretty amazing.
That's amazing. Well, those are all the questions that I have for you so far, Dante.
Yeah, so.
But we are going to move into the lightning round.
Let's roll with it.
All right. So 10 random questions.
There we go.
All right. Fun fact about you.
Okay.
Go ahead.
10?
No,
Or
just one fun fact.
Fun fact. I have a problem with buying shoes.
Pet peeve.
I hate. What do I hate? I don't know. Pet peeve. I don't know. I hate being late.
Okay, that's great. Single or taken?
Taken.
Favorite movie of all time?
A movie called A Place in the Sun, directed by George Stevens.
Well, since you're taken, I don't know how your girlfriend would feel about this, but Celebrity Crush?
Oh yeah, tons of them. She knows.
Okay. Oh, she knows.
I recently was like Andy Ross. And it was a big thing on Reddit with me and her going back and forth because I had a crush on her.
So one word to describe you.
Light.
What? Light. Okay, that's great. One word to describe your style.
I don't know. Crispy.
Crispy. Like
I don't
I
know.
like it. Favorite food.
Italian.
Italian. Ooh, not Filipino.
I
food.
love Filipino food also, but I gotta admit, like Italian is probably my favorite food.
Okay. Favorite rap verse.
Right now?
And you have to rap it.
All time?
Yeah, go
Or
for
just
it.
one?
Yes.
I mean, probably Jay-Z if you just gotta go all out. All
Okay.
together.
And you have to rap it. Like,
Jay,
what's your
what
favorite
song?
line?
Shit, like, now my mind's going blank. I'm going blank, Jay. I'm sorry. I'm on the spot. Let me see. And I got another song playing.
I know.
I got J. Cole. He's
You
pretty
like
cool
the
right now.
old Jay-Z or the new Holy
like-
Grail Jay-Z?
No, I like the old. I like the classic Jay-Z.
Okay.
Probably like, I like Hard Knock Life Jay-Z.
Okay.
I like Black Album Jay-Z. I like Reasonable Doubt Jay-Z.
Okay.
Well, I mean, the new stuff's cool too.
Yeah.
I can't even think of a verse right now. I'm friggin' out of my mind.
It's okay. It's okay. And words you live by.
I have a tattoo right here from Invictus, one of my favorite poems that says, "I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul." So I do my best to remind myself that.
Amazing. Well, with that, thank you so much, Dante, for taking your time out of the day to come and speak with us.
Thank you.
All right, and there you have it. Bye.